The greatest gift I ever received was an experience of mine, being part of a youth group called Band of Brothers. Looking back, I think it had one of the biggest impacts on my life. It all started at the beginning of my senior year of high school. A friend of mine somehow convinced me to come with him to a meeting one Wednesday night. Honestly, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but I decided to go anyway. When I showed up, it was in a weird building that I thought was abandoned. There was a single table and then a bunch of chairs scattered around. It was a small group, 7 or 8 guys and one leader. We sat around, made jokes, shared stories, read the Bible, and talked about what the verses meant in our everyday lives. We talked about things that mattered to us at that point in our life, like school sports, homecoming, graduation, and the pressure of what came next. Our leader gave us advice, encouragement, and sometimes just a space to hang out. Showing up each week, we never knew what to expect. There was one night we had what was called a "Where's Your Head At" night, where we all went around and shared what's going on in our lives that we're stressed about. We ended up going over our scheduled time by a few hours, but no one seemed to mind. Then one night we showed up and we had a whole lesson teaching us how to tie a tie, which I still remember. We also had a night where we just drove somewhere and played ping pong and pool for a few hours. Very quickly, those Wednesday nights became one of my favorite parts of the week. No matter what was going on, I knew I had that time set aside with the guys, tucked away in this strange little building on Main Street in our little town. At the end of senior year, we had our final meeting. We gathered at a Bible camp near our hometown on top of a hill where we had a fire. We talked about our future plans, we listened to some last minute advice from our leader, and then, one by one, we all walked down the hill alone, symbolizing leaving high school behind and stepping into the real world. As I walked down that hill, I realized just how grateful I was that my friend had bothered me to show up that very first night. What started out as something small ended up being one of the greatest gifts I ever received. As I went into college and I'm about to go into my adult life, I still remember a lot of the lessons I learned in those meetings. Those meetings shaped the way I see friendship, faith, and what it means to truly support one another. One big takeaway from Band of Brothers is that the greatest gifts aren't always things, but rather people who show up in your life at the right time. Thank you.